Hi guys, welcome back to Natural Hair Aphrodisiac. We're going to do a retwist on traditional locks today. We started off with a steam shampoo and a moisturizing treatment. I use Murray's Black Beeswax and Black Protein Gel for this style. So I have a way that I prep for each style. For traditional locks, I normally part off 2 rows of locks and I clip it in an upwards position with the lobster claw. Move down and I clip another 2 rows with another lobster claw. Everything is being clipped up upwards, almost in like a pineapple formation. Continue this until you're finished sectioning the whole head. And I also use this time to detangle any locks that may be sticking together, growing together. It just helps you move through the process of retwisting a whole head more quickly and efficiently. It's nothing better than working with a clean canvas. So now the locks should be neatly divided facing upward. We can start from the bottom right corner. I'm right-handed myself, so I twist the locks with the comb in a clockwise fashion. So people shed about 75 plus strands of hair every day. And I use comb twists to start the process of traditional locks. So once you have installed comb twists, 2 weeks later, the client is supposed to come back for a retwist to start their locking journey. Normally the dead hair removes itself from your scalp and it will fall on the ground or stay in your comb or brush. But once you begin the locking process, the dead hair will get trapped up in the coils of the lock and begin to bud or knot up, like you'll feel little hard pieces along the strand of the lock. These little pieces is what forms locks. So after you haven't shampooed your hair for a few months and those dead hair strands made a collection, congratulations, you've now traditionally formed a set of locks. So I'm giving you that information so you'll know what I'm doing in my next step. So as I'm retwisting my client's locks, you'll notice me back combing the top part of the lock about like an inch or so away from the scalp. As I do all of this back combing, I'm dragging all of the dead shed hair closer to the rest of the locked ends. So it's an important note to be taken that if you want to create smooth, even looking locks, most of the time you would see lumpy, bumpy locks. It shows that the locks haven't been maintained properly or regularly. Most of the time when you see these lumpy bumps on your locks, it shows that the locks haven't been maintained properly or regularly. There are many ways to produce traditional locks. You have palm rolls, retwist with a comb. I personally prefer, and I only use the comb twist method. I find that the palm roll leaves the lock feeling hard and stiff and almost like a Brillo pad. It doesn't really feel like hair to me, so I don't like to use the palm roll method. I like my locks to feel light and firm, but fluffy and flexible. So continuing on, as a rotation, you can twist the bottom 2 locks first and move up to the second row and rotate, twisting the locks individually on the 2 different rows continuously so that the twisted locks fall into a bricklayer pattern. You want to make sure the hair is well coated with beeswax and lightly with the protein gel. And pay attention when you're working with different textures on the amount of gel versus wax that is needed. You'll be able to tell the difference in between your fingers, what the best ratio of gel versus wax or wax versus gel. You'll notice that you'll have more control over the hair without there being too much slippage in your hands or the hair will feel too clammy. when you need to ease up with the beeswax. So you can continue doing this and repeat this cycle until your style is done and all rows are twisted. When you complete the retwist, you can set the client underneath a hooded hair dryer to dry. I personally like to fold the longer locks and clip them to fall on top of the client's head so that everything could dry at the same time. Normally the ends would take longer to dry if you leave them hanging out of the hooded dryer. So it's best for the client to completely dry their hair, which is normally about an hour and a half or more underneath the dryer. Most clients try to skip or lessen this time, but it's best to completely dry your hair or will begin to mildew from the inside and stink. Also, the clients that are thoroughly dried have the best styles. Who wants soggy locks, right? The client has chosen to get a style called barrels, and the barrels are going to go into a side ponytail. At the end, I closed the style with 2-strand twists coming out of the ponytail, and I banded the ends with elastics. This was about a 40-minute retwist, an hour and a half, I would say, underneath the dryer, and a 20-minute style. I appreciate your joining in on our session today, and I would definitely like for you to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.